And welcome back to What If. And we're on to part 3 of the gem in 3. What if Nappa and Vegeta went Oozaru in basically Saiyan Saga? And it's part 3 because I didn't realize because I do a lot. Some of these I do on. I used to write them out a bit, but now I kind of sometimes do them on. I also do them on the fly sometimes. So this one I've been doing a bit more on the fly. But I do know the basis of where it kind of will go. So, last time on Dragon Ball Z What Ifs, Vegeta and Nappa went Oozaru. Frieza, Vegeta, and the Ginyus, as well as Frieza's army, went to Earth after knowing the resurrected Earth would be back and have Dragon Balls. Meanwhile, Goku, Piccolo, and the entire Z Fighter team have been training in the other world with King Kai. Well, on King Kai's planet. Soon the invasion of Frieza Force comes, and they all fight to their heart's content, culminating in Vegeta being injured, Nappa being killed, Ginyus being killed, most of Frieza's force, if all of them being killed, and Frieza squaring off with Goku, Piccolo, and the rest. Frieza, however, despite his overwhelming power, was stunned when Chaozu of all people, decided I'm going to use my mental powers and freeze you for as long as I can before you can go into your final form, creating to a group effort of Kamehamehas, special beam cannons, tri-beam attacks, destroying the mighty demon Frost Demon Lord. Little did we know that another fighter had joined the fray. After the defeat of Frieza, and Bulma and everyone learning from his technology, like, he's got a ship and stuff, let's learn from it. We now have Future Trunks coming in. Now, Future Trunks, to start off with, is not the son, and Vegeta's hightailed it out of there. Future Trunks is not the son of Vegeta and Bulma. He is the son of Yamcha and Bulma. They are still together. They have a child, and it is Trunks. And for the sake of sakes, because he's got black hair too, why? Well, he'll look the same. Now, someone raised a good point in one of the previous videos, is that if you go by some of the fan fiction, or if you go by DBZ Multiverse, like the Yamcha and for those of you who don't know, read it. It's a great DBZ Multiverse is a fan made online manga, which the art style is great too. It looks like Akira Toriyama. Where they basically decided we're going to have these universes, not the universe from Super, obviously, but it's like 20 universes, and they're all have as many participants as you want. We're just going to have this giant multi-universal tournament. It's designed more like a World Martial Arts tournament where it's bracketed. And in one of the universes, one of them had a Yamcha who was like the same level of power as like Android 17 because he accepted cybernetic enhancements and basically raised his power up. So for the sake of this argument, we're going to say that Trunks is actually similar. He has cybernetic enhancements. Now, because he has to come back and warn them about the androids, I'm going to say he's not as strong as 17 or 18 by any stretch of means. For the sake of let's put him on par with his Super Saiyan form. He's Super Saiyan level strong. Comes back and warns them about the androids, all that. I'm certain him and Goku will spar a little bit. The only difference is he doesn't need to transform. He's always constantly Super Saiyan level strong. So even with Kaioken, he beats Goku down. So yeah, even with Kaioken times 20, he's no match for Trunks at all. So yeah, then he warns them and explains everything, and they go off and explains the heart gives them the heart virus pills. Now everyone's alive, everyone's happy. That they all train for the 3 years and whatnot. Actually, give me a second. I'm trying to think on that. You know what? No, I'm going to go. It's a 4-year gap this time because, and I say that because we assume when Nail makes a wish, it's going to be the same time that same time frame roughly speaking. There was a year between when Goku came back and or when Namek was when they went to Namek, when Frieza was killed, and when Goku arrived. There was a year gap there. So that's actually a 4-year gap. So there's actually a 4-year gap. Now, in a 4-year gap, they're all training as hard as they can again. This time, they don't have the benefit of the gravity. They could go to the hyperbolic time chamber, but I don't think they would. Again, I don't think they feel the need necessarily to do so. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of my numbers in front of me, but I'm not gonna spew numbers off at this point. Just because, once again, to these levels, it's a little harder. Because there's no official power levels for anyone past Frieza. There's a couple, like, Dragon Ball movie levels, like Hachiak. Broly has one. I think Cooler has one. I know his was like 420 million, 420 million or something like that. So there's some of them have official power levels that were stated like in Shonen Jump's catalogs and stuff like that, but they're non-canon characters, so they don't really count. And power levels, truth be told, even though I'll do the power level videos eventually once the tournament of power is done, we do know they don't mean anything. So it's an arbitrary number, but at the same time, it's fun to do them. So anyway, and if I did decide to bring my sheet up here, I would have probably done the math and probably worked out a bit more scaling. Anyway, though, in terms of power, over 4 years training, because Piccolo, Gohan, and Goku are probably all going to train together. Krillin might show up now and then. Tien, I would imagine Yamcha, Tien, because Yamcha. See, another key thing here is that would actually be the character of Yamcha, is that Yamcha, while he was still martial arts, he was still training. He was not. He was never as in depth on his training as some of the other guys were. Like if you see that, remember that shot where he's training in the gym and he kind of destroyed a weight set. That's not taking your training seriously, dude. Come on. But this Yamcha has been training for quite a while in King Kai's world. Been training with just fought with Frieza, and now they're gonna deal with an individual possibly even stronger than Frieza. No, he's probably gonna be training. So he might be training alongside with Tien. Maybe Krillin is actually. I can imagine him training with Krillin more than Tien. Tien and Chaozu will be doing their thing. When it's all said and done, first off, Goku still is not gonna reach Super Saiyan, because he's got no catalyst for Super Saiyan. Likewise, with 4 years, I don't know if he would still contract the heart virus in like an earlier time, like they would catch it. I don't know about that, but I would imagine that he would still, obviously he still catches the heart virus, but I don't know. Would Gohan, because they didn't remember to bring his medication with him the first time because he wasn't showing any symptoms yet. So I can't imagine that would be the case. Now, in terms of where they are power-wise, I mean, Piccolo had gotten to the point where he was strong enough to take on Android 20 Gero with no problem. Goku was stronger than 19 and 20, that was for certain, but the heart virus is getting in the way. If Piccolo can get to that, plus the Piccolo in this version we've established has the ability to use Kaioken. But that being said, he's also nowhere near as powerful as he was in the Android arc. So I would put him, if we're gonna go on a power level kick right now, I would say he is probably somewhere in the vein of around, because with a lot of hardcore training over 4 years and actually being on, let's be clear, Goku was far leagues beyond Piccolo and Gohan when they were training, so he couldn't have gotten a very large increase in his power, whereas Piccolo and Gohan did, because Goku was far stronger than them, and they had far more distance to cover. But they're relatively in equal footing, Goku and Piccolo, in this scenario. So I imagine they're both going to be pushing themselves a lot. Over 4 years, I could see about a 20 times increase from what they were at, which would put Goku somewhere in the neighborhood of about 6 million, give or take. Actually, you know what? I could see it going beyond that, honestly. I could see it probably, let's for the sake of say 15 million. Piccolo would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 million, I'd say, and Goku would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 million. Not factoring in that he hasn't got the heart virus yet. And Gohan, I'd say, well, we can put Gohan at solid 2 million. I think that's fair enough, because Gohan had gotten that big Zenkai at the end of the fight. The other guys we're not going to factor in right now. However, Vegeta is still out there, and Vegeta is not happy. Vegeta also, I believe, has lost his tail at this point. So now, granted, Vegeta is far stronger than he was originally, but Vegeta's not happy. He's probably at best somewhere in the million range. So he maybe comes back to Earth at some point. And I don't even think he'd come back to Earth, because he knows without his tail, and he can't reach Super Saiyan. So maybe he does reach Super Saiyan, because he was pissed off because he saw 2 Super Saiyans and he's supposed to, I'm a Saiyan Elite. So he was pissed off at that. So likewise, he's got all these fighters far superior to him now on Earth, and he's just struggling and struggling. Now he's pissed off, and I could see him maybe reaching Super Saiyan. And for the sake, let's say he's around 2 million. So he hits about 100 million when he gets Super Saiyan. He spends a little bit of time training with Super Saiyan, so maybe he hits about 150 when it's all said and done. So now the day comes, the androids are coming, and then for a couple days before it, and Vegeta shows up, or Vegeta would show up like he did with the androids, probably. And and he and it goes without saying. Now Goku's now starting to suffer the symptoms of the heart virus a little bit. He hasn't reached Super Saiyan yet, so we'll put him right around 10 million for the time being. I was like, oh, your abilities have increased dramatically, but it's nothing we cannot handle. Likewise, Jiro and 19 are roughly the same power level. Or, well, no, Jiro I think was a little stronger than 19. It's never actually fully stated, but I imagine Jiro was probably a little stronger than 19, so he can keep him in control. I would imagine that they were. Where did I put? Because I got the numbers downstairs for the power levels. They're below 200 million. I know that. Let's just say, for sake of sake, between 160 and 180 for between them. So the fight is gonna commence, and they go on, and Goku immediately goes into Kaioken, and for the time being, he's not doing it. Then he goes Kaioken times 20, which he can do at this point. Piccolo would also be able to do it. Again, because of his biology, he's a bit more resilient to it, just because of his regenerative capabilities. And then Goku goes Kaioken times 20, and he's starting to dish out some punishment. And then, Kamehameha absorbs it, and Goku's not suffering. He's probably now down to maybe about 7 million, and I'm just factoring in higher rises. His Kaioken's now, he's still got the Kaioken 20 pumping, but he's just, and then, the android's like, I will now take all of your energy. And then Vegeta comes in, boom! And say, now tell me, does a machine like you feel fear? And then does that, it's like, what is it? I am the legendary Super Saiyan! And then, that fight takes place. Unfortunately, Vegeta is only around 150 million. Even if Android 19 were at its weakest, I should say for malfunctioning, or not having energy in him, he's not strong enough to take him on. So now Vegeta's like, oh, what are you, I'm a Saiyan Elite? And then, Android 18 maybe puts a hole in him like he did Yamcha, and just, and then boom, just smacks it. Oh, well, this is it. And they get Goku out of it. You're not going anywhere. And then the energy comes in, but then Piccolo just Kaioken's boom, and then he takes off his weighted clothes. Like, all right, you metal or Robos, all right, you metal freaks, let's go. And just cracks his knuckles. And then it's like, ha, you cannot stop us. Neither your Saiyan friends can stop us. It's like, he's right, you should maybe just, and then go Piccolo just Kaioken just Kaioken. He also does Kaioken times 20. But difference is that he's more resilient. He can handle it better, and he doesn't have a heart virus. So he immediately just, boom, just charges right through 19. Just kind of like how Goku did in Cooler's Cooler's, was it not Cooler's Revenge? Return or Cooler. So against Metal, just boom, just smashes right through 19. He's not having Piccolo's not taking any of this crap. Just boom, and then just 19's just down. And then Jiro's just, oh dear. It's like, where do you think you're going? And then Gohan also comes in. Gohan at this point could probably pull off a Kaioken times 10. Because he's young, his body's not as developed, and he can only pull off a Kaioken times 5. But given 4 years and hardcore training and getting up to 2 million in power level, yeah, I can see him pulling off a 10. 10 would still be a struggle, but I think he could do it. Gohan also just comes in, it's like, Masika! Blasts into Dro's face. Dro's able to absorb, but then Piccolo just, he suddenly sees Piccolo behind, just boom, and then because Piccolo's a strategist. When you got someone like both, also Tien would probably help out. Tien, Gohan, and Piccolo, I don't think Jiro gets to the androids in time. I think Jiro is kind of, because up until that point, they were dominating the fight. Goku was pushing them with Kaioken Times 20, but he wasn't at full power at that point. He was suffering. And Vegeta was just, Vegeta ain't doing well. So, at that point, yeah, I think they defeat them without a problem. Now, cut to after the fight. And we're at the 15-minute mark, so I'll go for a little bit longer. Cut to after the fight. What happens? Well, they give Vegeta a Senzu bean. He eats it. He probably, because they probably get his shit wrecked. He probably gets a good side Zenkai, but let's put him at a solid 5 million. Meanwhile, Goku's recovering from the heart virus, and it's fine and all that. And he eventually does recover. Everyone recovers generally fine. Piccolo would also probably get a little boost because his energy actually, or his body actually gets kind of like micro boost with enough physical strain. So actually no, he probably didn't struggle that much. That being said, actually no, the Kaioken would probably stress his body, so he could actually be getting micro boosts all the time. Actually, wow, I didn't even think about that. That would be kind of cool. So for the sake, we'll give him jacked up an extra million on his power level. But while Goku's recovering, Vegeta's there, and he's still not happy. But whatever, it happened. I'm still a legendary Super Saiyan, and because of that, while his ego is kind of run rampant, and he wants to take on Goku again, he's a bit more relaxed a little bit. He's a bit easier to be around, and to be fair, might as well just put him at a solid 4 million. And because of that, he also sees that him and Piccolo would be near same power level, but not the same power level. Goku, I think, would eventually wake up as Cell, when Goku would wake up. He probably wakes up around the same time. Piccolo and them go to Kami's lookout, so to talk to Kami about what's going on, and there's something going on, Cell and all that, and and Kami's worried. It's like Piccolo is like, this is not an opponent we can fight. No, we cannot defeat him on our own. Not with the power we have. It's like, oh, you're a legendary. Oh, goes Vegeta, you could even take on the androids. What do you think you can do? And Vegeta's just like, he's like, don't do it. The Dragon Ball's be gone if you do. It's like, it's like, and then Kami or Popo be like, So Kami and Piccolo would discuss fusion. Would discuss fusion if they should or not. If that's a sound idea to do. I think eventually it would come down to the fact that Kami comes is like, you guys just don't have the power to take on this threat that's looming right now, and I think we should fuse. So they would fuse, and that would put Piccolo at around 22 because the reason for that is because it is stated that the power pretty much doubles. Whatever the fusion be, the base body's power is overall multiplied. Plus having the wisdom of Kami and all that. So, with that said, the Dragon Balls are gone. So, because Kami decided to do that regardless. I was like, dude, why don't we gather the Dragon Balls real quick and make a wish and then fuse so we can get one last bit of good out of them? I was like, no, okay. Didn't think to tell me about that? And then he goes and confronts and meets Cell, and he immediately can power up. Immediately now goes to 220, which is on Kaioken times 10. He powers up a bit more, maybe like the Kaioken, because full-on Kaioken would be like for Kaioken times 20. Maybe even go a little beyond the Kaioken times 20, like in 25 or something like that, because the Kami's like that. Kami's abilities allow him to do that a little bit more. So why don't we even give him the extra times 5? It's Kaioken. Theoretically speaking, there's no limit to the multiplier. It's just the amount of strain it puts on your body. So anyway, he maybe goes like Kaioken 15 or something. I don't know. Because Piccolo's smart. He knows how to calculate his power. Knows not to go full out if he can help it. So at 15 times that, you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 million, which would be enough to maybe put Cell on edge. And Cell probably knows he's not done yet because he knows he can go a little higher than that. But the question that project has being worked on for a while, and would Cell would probably still come about just because Vegeta destroyed the planet. The Vegeta planet was then reestablished. So so Cell would probably show up, and then he would probably say, I'm looking for my brother's Android 17. Well, there is no Android 17 or 18 or 17. Didn't you fight? It's like, we fought the androids and then we defeated them. One was an old man, was like a big fence. Like, and then Cell realizes like something's wrong with his timeline. But if that also means that, if 17 and 18 aren't here, then that means and he realizes they haven't acted. Yes. Sorry about this, but solid flat. Gotta go. So he's going to do a thing somewhere. Yeah, and we're gonna end this off with him reaching Jiro's lab because he would know where it is because he's there, and him absorbing 18 and 19, 18 and 17, and immediately becoming perfect cell, and everyone senses this. Goku wakes up, by the way, at this point. We'll put him at around 20 million, which would mean jack in this scenario because he's like, hey, I can go to 20, I can go to 400 million. Bull, who cares? This perfect cell's around 2 billion somewhere. So it's like, yeah. So we're gonna leave it off on there right now and see what happens. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Yeah, we'll review anything you want us to review, even if it's in theater or not in theater. I'll find a way to view it, whether it's online or on a streaming service or something like that. Because I've only ever had one person request a review, and I've done the review. It's Double Dragon. And I rewatched that, rewatching that movie, I'm like, this movie's bad, but there's some enjoyability in it. Like watching Alyssa Milano's ass. That was a nice moment. But anyway, yeah. And if you have an idea for a video who would win Star Wars Superhero Magic, what if, anything I do in the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point as well. Thanks for watching. Who would want to be probably Tuesday, if I'm going to be honest, and Wednesday, just for scheduling reasons. I might have another movie review up on Tuesday because I got the day off. I might catch I'll probably catch like a flick or something just because it's matinee day on Tuesday, so it's a nice way to pass the time. Maybe a magic video. Maybe a magic video. Like I said, What Ifs are being pushed to the weekend, so I'm not doing that. Den of Thieves. That's the movie, definitely the movie this week, and I'm looking forward to Den of Thieves. We've been seeing the trailers for that for a while. It looks like it's going to be a good time. So thanks for watching. See you next time.